We're already having so much fun. Oh, jeez. Oh, Ginger, you're a riot. Jesus.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Hey, all 7 of you people there in the chat room. What is going on? Welcome
Hi,
to
everybody.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, hello. Welcome to the Late Late Horror Show. What is
Hi,
going
Harry
on?
Scott. Hi, Kathy. What, Rich Cat,
Yeah, and Roger Stevens Mac
Roger,
and Rick
and
Cat
Black Roses.
and
Hey,
Connie.
Black Roses.
Black Roses and Roger says hello everyone and Dino excited about the show. I remember this movie, and Black Roses says never seen this movie. Yeah, you know what? Again, welcome everybody. Me and Ginger here once again to talk about a movie, and
Welcome.
yeah, welcome to the movie discussion. And this one's going to be kind of a fun one for me. I don't know. We'll find out from
For
Ginger.
you. Hey, Chris
Gee,
W. Mwah. And
listen,
Shay Whalen. And I guess that's it. That didn't take
CM
long.
and WW. Yes. Good to see
CM,
everybody.
hey, CM.
Hey, Chris W. Yeah. Hey. Oh my God. It's just,
WWM, hey, WWM.
hello. Hi. How are you?
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. So listen, we're about ready to talk about one of the greatest slashers of all time, possibly. I mean, this movie is unbelievable. This is
Oh,
Stage
hey,
Fright.
Icy Bird.
Hey, Icy Bird. This is Stage Fright from 1987. This movie is
Also
done
known as Deliria or Aquarius or
Aquarius.
Bloody Bird. Bloody Bird.
Yes. All of those names. And this is directed by Suave Rico Suave. But he is do you know where he's from?
Italy?
Yes. But listen. Okay, first of all, again, this is Stage Fright 1987, directed by Suave, lesser known
It's
director.
not Suave, it's Suavi.
He's a lesser known.
You
He's
nerd.
He's a lesser known director, and the reason for that is his child got sick a little bit later
he took
on.
some time off to
After several films, and he had to end up taking time off because because his kid was sick. And hello, one Sean Bond, what is going on? Otherwise, he may have had quite a career. I don't know. This is a lot of people talk about. First, you got the grandfather of Giallo and Italian horror with Mario Bava. Then you got his son Lamberto, and you got Umberto Lenzi, and then you got Dario Argento, and smack dab in there is Suavi. And a lot of people said he overtook kind of Lamberto, and I could see that a little bit because I wasn't a big fan of that Lamberto. I loved it. I mean, I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it. But I can see him doing that. But Dario Argento, listen, for me, and it's different for everybody, I'm sure. Dario Argento is the king of Giallo films. No doubt about it. That decade in the 80s was just a fantastic time to
Hey, Emily. How are you, babe?
watch these Italian horror films. So, hello, Emily. What's going on? So, I mean, what did you think of this, Ginger? Did you like it? Did you not like it?
I mean,
for what it was, come on. You have issues
but for
with
people to say that it's one of the greatest slasher movies of all time, one of the unknown, like not enough people know, I'm like, really? You know, it's worth a watch, but I'm not crazy about it. It wasn't terrible, but you have to admit the movie's I don't think it's meant to be comical, but it's actually comical. I don't think they intended for it to be comical, but it is in its corniness.
Really? In what way? I see that there's a little camp like to this movie. Like he kept it simple. A slasher movie is a slasher movie. He kept the plot simple so that he
It had
can
a plot. It had
so,
a plot.
yes, so that he can focus on the kills, the terrifying moments because of the artistic side of what he was doing. Listen, he worked under Dario Argento and a couple others, and he worked under him in opera and a couple other major films, and he brought all of that with him, and he was schooled very well in the art of the giallo films and horror films, and he kind of ran away with this one. It's more of a slasher than a giallo, but you can kind of categorize it in both. uh
Uh,
what what's going on?
the
What?
only aspect of this that I see as being Giallo is the colors.
No, I mean, listen, you can argue giallo and slasher over and over and over again. If you
There's no
dive,
red herrings. There's no red herrings. We know who the
doesn't need to
killer is.
be, doesn't need to be.
There's no
Giallo's
police investigation going on.
okay. Well, yeah, but it's not, listen, it's not all about that. Giallos, uh, they definitely have a feel to it. There's it's about the moments and the feel of the scenes, the killings, the storyline, the plot. There's a lot more that goes into it. Of course, this takes more of a slasher lean because, yes, most giallo films contain an unknown killer, and in this one, we get to know who the killer is right away. You know, so which gets us to the plot, right?
Yes.
Yes. Um,
Um,
Yeah. What's going
it's
on?
like Halloween. It's like the kind of like the Halloween.
Well, it's a slasher. It's one
He comes
killer.
back. He's in a mental institution and he escapes in a station wagon
Well,
and
why was
comes
he in a
back.
mental institution? Because he killed his co-star on the stage, and yeah, went to the mental institution and escaped. Yeah, lots of similarities to Halloween, a little bit there in the beginning, but ends up coming to this theater where everything takes place in the theater itself. So
And they're
you've got,
literally locked inside.
yeah, and the killer's name, you learn it right off the bat too, is Irving Wallace. And he just basically goes on a killing spree.
And the
Uh
people in the theater are rehearsing a play called Night Owl. The Night
Shay
Owl.
Shay Whalen, I'm going to watch Black Christmas. My apologies, but I've heard good things. Ciao for now, people. What does I don't even understand that. What you came in here to see a review and see us talk about this movie, and then you say you're ready for Black Christmas? I mean, I like the apologies, but okay, go enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it.
What
Black
do I always
Christmas,
say, Dino? This
yeah,
isn't the airport. You don't have to announce your departure. You could just
exactly.
go.
Just leave. Just leave. Oh my god, what the hell? Anyways,
Anyway, so they're
enjoy
locked
Black
inside.
Christmas,
And here's,
Shay.
I think pretty much everybody in this movie is a terrible person. They're all horrible people. They're terrible.
Well,
Not that they deserve what happens to them, but they were all pretty much
do you think
terrible
so,
people.
Alicia? You think she's a terrible
Well, no,
person?
not necessarily Alicia. And then there was
The
one other person who the Camille, is it?
Betty, who helped her,
No, no.
the first who got killed.
The hot chick, the hot one. Her name was
Oh,
Corinne or Corinne.
oh,
She wasn't a terrible person, I don't think.
who wanted the role of Alicia's role, the lead role? and didn't have it? Is that the one you're talking about, or the
Oh,
blonde
is
one
that
that
what
looked
it
like?
was? I guess I missed that. She was the one that she hid the key, and then she died, and nobody knew where she hid the key because she died.
Oh, yes, and she was a very strange character in this movie. Yeah, no, no, no. She was very beautiful.
Yeah, she was gorgeous
Oh,
from head to
mama.
toe.
Yeah, and
She was
she
gorgeous.
she was gorgeous, and she was, I guess, a good person, but she kept looking at him, the director, who was a prick,
Oh yeah, he was
Peter.
weird and creepy. Ugh.
Yes, Peter, who was the director of the play inside this theater.
Oh, he was a terrible person.
Oh, he was awful. He was just pushing them, and just he was not nice.
Although he
And
came through when they needed him, he came through when
well, with when your back's against the wall and you're going to die, you're definitely going
But
to.
he could have easily like left them, locked them in somewhere, because sometimes they do that in movies where one guy decides, forget these people. I know how to get out of here and I'm going to do it on my own. I don't need them slowing me down. But he stayed with them. They all stayed together.
Well, they had to, But
They
anyways,
had to.
Peter, she seemed to be a good character, and although she kept looking at the director as if she was like his side thing or something. Did you always see the smiling look she give him, like, yes sir, like, you
No, I
know,
guess I didn't.
I will
I
do
missed
whatever.
that part.
I will do whatever you want, sir. Yes, Peter. Yes, I will hide the key. I will do this. Yes. I saw that 100%. Hey,
Because
Night
she was
Fright.
a sweet girl. No, she was just a sweet girl. She was like that with everybody.
Yeah, we'll go with that. And
You weirdo. Stop being a
so
perv.
what? No, it's the way she was looking at him.
Wow.
Anyway,
Anyway,
anywho, where's
so
everybody
the
at?
one girl,
Is there
there's
something going on somewhere? Where's everybody? I'm curious. What's going on? Wait till you settle. Don't have a wreck. Okay, Emily. Um. Okay, so let's start talking about
Hi,
this movie.
Connie. Connie, babe, I missed you coming in. I was busy trying to school Dino about this movie.
Yeah,
Hi, Connie.
she's schooling me on
Somebody else came in
something.
that I missed.
And
Somebody else
again,
came in. Night Fright. Night
yes, yes,
Fright.
and
And
sick
Sick
pup.
Pup. Hey, Sick Pup.
But again, this has a feel that I just love. The '80s is my thing. That's my
I
jam.
see that.
And
I see that.
yeah, and when it comes to horror, especially, and this is just fantastic. And the fact that this director, Suave, only had really a couple movies that really stood out for him, like Cemetery Man, this one,
There's like four, maybe five.
yeah, yeah, and he doesn't get as much recognition as he does, probably because he didn't go on to make more and more and more films.
Yeah.
But this one is
I
just
remember what
fantastic.
we were talking about before, that a lot of it has to do with the fact that he took a really long break from
Yeah,
directing because he wanted to take care of his son.
exactly. And Hello, Devane. I guess that's open to interpretation, says CM. Okay. Anyways,
Hello,
the
Devane.
yes, good to see ya. Good to see ya. This
Patty said,
movie.
not Rico Suave. No, not that one.
Hey, listen. American cinema, when it comes to slashers, are kind of basic when it comes to the kills. You stalk, you kill. You may jack up the scenes and stuff around what's going on in the killing, but in Italian horrors, and especially the slasher genre in uh, Italian horror, there's an artistic side to the killings, to the
There's a
to
beauty to it.
if you would call it that. Yes, if
There's
you're
a
a
beauty
horror
to the murders.
if you're a horror fan, when you see these things, there's a lot going on around the scenes instead of just killing. Like, every single one of these killings in this movie were done so interestingly, I mean, it just holds your attention. I mean, starting off with that first kill, right? When we have Betty and Alicia, they start the movie out kind of this musical, and the musical is called The Night Owl. Okay, it's a musical about a horror, a mass murderer, um, dancing
And
around.
the
Yeah,
weirdest rape scene I've ever seen.
yeah. If you'd even call it that, it was really weird.
It
Yeah, I
was
mean,
very odd.
it was very odd, very odd. I mean, I guess to try to get away with what.
Oh, the first kill, the pickaxe to the mouth.
Yes, yes,
Woo!
yes.
I was
Which
not ready for that.
no, and it's the only other time I seen the pickaxe to the face like that was in My Bloody Valentine.
Mhm.
Have you seen that, Ginger?
Nope.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm ready to rewatch that one. We may do that.
That'll work.
Anyways, yeah. Prayers to everybody in Florida, of course. Uh, Lots of eye poking. Black roses. What are you talking about? Not in this one. Um, that's a
No eye
Dario.
poking, I don't think. I don't think there's any eye poking in this.
No, that's a Dario Argento thing.
Um, yeah,
That's a
the eyes are
Bava
real.
thing, Lamberto. Yeah, so it isn't, but not in this movie. Not in this movie. We get Alicia in a blonde wig and performing this musical play,
Yeah.
and it all revolves around the owl head or mask, if you will. And a lot of people kind of put down like, boy, what a stupid thing to put on a killer. But I think Suave made it work so well, and
It
Irving
wasn't
Wallace.
supposed to be real. I mean, it was art or whatever.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Um, no use for a name. Hi, guys.
Hey,
Good
no
to
use for a name.
Yeah, good to see you. No use for a name. But the owl head, which he gets from the main character in the stage play. Again, this is similar to. Oh, I didn't even tell you. Suave also appeared in the Lamberto Bava, or not, the Dario Argento Demons movie. Remember, he's the guy with the chrome Phantom of the Opera
Oh,
on the side of his face.
and who's this now?
That's
What
the
is he in
director,
this movie?
Suave. That's
Oh,
the
that's the
director.
director?
Yes.
And he's in this movie too.
Well, he's in this movie for a little bit part with in the police car when they're outside.
Yes.
He's sitting in the seat next to the whoever the yeah. So he makes an appearance like they all do in Italian horror cinema. All the
Mhm.
directors want to be like Alfred Hitchcock
Yeah.
and pop in a film. Well, many do. But that was
I was just telling you about uh that movie Smile that I want to see that's just coming out and you poo-pooed it because
yeah,
you're a
it's a new movie.
snob. You're a
It's a new
cinema
movie.
snob.
Yeah, I am.
And I
Hey,
said it's
Chad
kind of
Farr.
like a Shyamalan movie.
Shamalama. Yeah, it
Uh-huh.
could be. Yeah. Hey, Chad Farr, what's going on? Nice to see you here. Um, but yeah, no, we just did
Hey,
Demons,
Chad.
which is kind of interesting that would link up like that, and he's the director of this film, and we were looking at that movie going, what the hell? Who is he? What is this? Why has he got this chrome to the side of his face? It's just so odd, and here he is directing this film, but you get Alicia. In the owl's head, I thought very well done, and I think that was because of the actor who played Irving Wallace, the killer, and Suave's direction, and the way he just made the scenes look fantastic. Like there's a scene later in the movie where he's sitting after he's killed most of the people, and he's sitting in this chair, with the owl head on him, and you can see his eyes through there, and they're darting back and forth, and the feathers just go flying up in the air. It's just the coolest scene, the fans blowing the feathers around. And I thought it was really awesome. And at a movie festival in Italy, when this movie came out, a bunch of people threw a bunch of feathers down
Oh,
off for him for the ending, because they loved that ending scene where all that took place and stuff. So Anyways, a big part of the one of the cooler scenes in the movie when he's sitting up there on that chair. I don't know how much you enjoyed that, Ginger. Was that terrible too? It was
I
okay.
never said it was
I'm Ginger. I
terrible.
say
I
it was.
never said it was terrible. Hey, Terrence, Richie.
Hey, Terrence, I'm Richie. What's going on, my friend? Hopefully you're doing well. Um, I will say this for you: it's doable as a horror movie, right? A
Yeah,
slasher.
yeah.
Okay.
I just don't get this whole gushing about how it's like one of the most unappreciated slasher movies of all time. It's a work of
Because
art. And I'm like,
it's never really talked about. And listen, so much has come from Italian cinema during the 70s and 80s, and it's just this one. Listen, the kills alone in this movie for a horror film is just they're unbelievable in this
so
film. Am I
that's what you're
wrong?
basing your love for this movie on, is the fantastic, all these gory, that's what you're basing it on? It's greatness?
No, not the gore, but if you're a horror movie lover, the scenes that take place, the terrifying scenes that work its way up to another victim, another victim, another victim is so well done and so different that it's not just Michael Myers coming in and just psh, and you're done. Scene
Hey, JLR.
done.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends in Florida. I lived down there for a couple years. I have some very dear friends in Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach, and I've heard from all of them. They're saying it's not pretty, but they're okay for now.
Yes, JLR, prayers to everyone. Good to see you in the chat. And yes, Chris W., some people think Twilight is a work of art. You've got to let people have their passions, LL. Yep,
Yes,
everybody,
you're right. Absolutely right. That's
exactly.
right.
Everybody loves different things about different movies.
This
Uh,
movie, I like the 80s vibe. Immediately, the first frame that comes on the screen, you're like, 80s movie. I mean,
oh,
it's like,
yeah.
it's an 80s movie.
Yep. And again, the music. Every
Yeah.
Italian horror film seems to have fantastic score and fantastic music.
Oh,
Uh,
Peter the director. Did you catch Peter the director? He likes the nose candy. Did you catch that?
Oh, yeah, yeah, he kept snorting. Yeah,
And
that was the
the
thing.
other girl, there's a girl there who's pregnant, and it says that she had already had one procedure,
Yeah.
and they're all terrible people. I'm not saying because of that, but just like everyone there, it's like they have, just like in Black Lace. What's it called?
Blood and Black Lace.
Yeah,
Yeah, yes.
everybody has a secret. Everybody has a dark, like, secret. They're all like hiding something, or they're openly just terrible people. Like, they're all terrible people.
Yeah, yeah, no, I don't see that. Even the Meg Ryan, not the Meg Ryan. Who's the one girl?
Alicia.
No, the blonde-haired girl. Who does she remind you of again? She reminded me of somebody. The blonde-haired girl, short, punk kind of blonde hair, um, American actress.
I don't know, man. I keep
Oh,
telling you, I'm
geez.
not into chicks. I don't memorize the
Okay.
chicks the way you do.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that you don't even watch these movies. But
Oh,
anyway, I,
excuse me.
I,
I have copious notes. Look at how copious. Copious
hey,
notes,
hey, Ian Sharp, what's
sir.
going on? That was one of the best scenes when the killer was sitting on the
That's
stage. Yes,
all the way at the end.
that's the best scene in the movie. Other best kill in the movie. I don't know. There's a few of them. That very beginning
Hey,
again.
Otamo.
Hey, oh Tom, oh what's going on? Uh, the very first. Well, again, Alicia and Betty go off because she sprained her ankle, and
Yeah, and they go to a
she.
mental hospital.
Well, yeah, I guess. Well, again, hospitals over there in Europe. I don't know. You got some problems.
Luckily,
Everybody.
they found a hot young doctor who fixed her right up.
Everybody's talking about the hurricane. Hopefully, you guys can get some reprieve a little bit for at least an hour here and enjoy the stream and discussion here. Um, just for a little bit. I
Dino
try.
has such a way with words, doesn't he? He just has
Listen, you gotta get away from
the negative.
the negative that's out there that's going on, and it's a sad thing. Again, you got me talking about it now. It's a sad thing, but
And this is an escape for just a
for an
moment.
hour, escape from it. Otherwise, just go turn CNN on, please. And it's a sad thing. I'll find out when I watch the news again later on for
So the
five
first
minutes.
kill was the pickaxe to the
Yes,
face.
yes,
The second kill was
and it was such a cool scene in the rain, in the mud, right through the mouth. And I'm like, holy Moses,
and then
smell
her
the
friend
roses.
finds her and she runs back inside and tells them.
Yeah. Oh, what's going on? Oh my God. Poltergeist? What's going on?
My patio door's open, so and it's right
Fireworks?
over the street, so you might hear things.
Oh, what kind of
Speaking
thing?
of prayers, pray for Philadelphia. So
Uh, what?
for different reasons.
Yeah. Hey, no use for a name. Hopefully you're enjoying the old time radio shows overnight still. I haven't seen you for a while. It's been hopefully you're still enjoying, my friend. Anyways, Chris W is enjoying the slasher vibes. The news is not just dark info; it's negative programming. Exactly. So
There's a
we're
black cat in this movie named Lucifer.
yes, I like the
What a
black
cool
cat,
name for a black cat, Lucifer.
and
I
I
love
like the
it.
black cat. I like that the black cat was like just roaming around the
Mhm.
theater throughout this, and the look of the black cat because I'm into black cats, and this one kind of it was pretty darn cool looking. I don't know. It looked more like a small puma or something with like really rough fur, and it was very cool, very cool. Um. Anyway,
I'm safe. I'm
continue.
on the fourth floor. I'm on the fourth. I'm on the top on the fourth floor, and there's only one way to get in here.
Oh boy, yeah. So we
So
yeah. So what's going on?
then, out of all of this, Peter, the director, gets.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's
What?
change this play,
Yeah.
and instead of calling him the owl, we're gonna call him. What's the killer's name? Wallace.
Irving Wallace.
They're
Yes.
gonna name the movie the show Irving Wallace. Is that what he said?
Well, yeah, because listen, what happens is after that killing out there, they call the police and everybody comes around and there's a big to do. Oh my God, right here, the killer was right here. So Peter says, "Hey," to the guy that finances it, whoever the guy is, was giving him issues. The guy who
Yes.
hovers over the director and says, you're not going to get no more money if you can't get the right, people in here doing what they need to do. So Peter goes, let's talk to this reporter over here. We got a reporter, and if we talk to him. So his
And we
plan
can
was,
open early. We're going to change the play a little bit. And now that
we're
we've
gonna,
got all this attention, let's cash in on this attention and
yeah,
open a few days early.
and he was going to call the owl Irving Wallace. He was going to call him the killer who was
The
out there killing.
audacity.
And yeah, no, Irving Wallace Cleaver. What the heck, Tom? Irving Wallace Cleaver, Beaver Cleaver, Beaver
So
is that their last name? And leave it to Beaver Cleavers. It was the Cleavers, right?
yes.
Okay, very interesting. Continue.
So they
What was
see he kills Brett. He kills the guy that's supposed to play the owl. The killer kills him.
Oh, geez, you're 3/4 away in the movie. What the hell is going on there? Yeah,
I
he
mean,
does
I'm
kill
trying to
him.
keep this thing on track as you go off the rails. I mean,
You
I'm
you
trying.
you went a different direction. You're taking a shortcut. Like I'm getting ready to stop at a few more places, and you're at the end of your journey
Well,
already.
back it up then, Captain.
Yeah, Jesus criminy.
Back it up. Go
Uh,
ahead.
when he gets it, it's a little bit longer in the movie, but so what happens is the police are waiting outside in their vehicle watching everything, but it's
And they
raining
prove
so
themselves to be very useful.
not at all, because the rain out there, you can't hear nothing, and everything is, yeah, all over the place. Because what Peter does is he says after that, he tells the reporter that they're going to change all this. It'll bring in big crowds and stuff like that.
Mhm.
He makes that, what's her name, the really pretty girl at the beginning, that his,
Corinne.
yeah, his number one, I call her. Um, hide the key so nobody can get out of here.
Mhm.
So a great plan, right? After a
Yeah,
killer
that
shows
worked out really
around.
well.
Yeah, that was yeah, that was really good. So she hides the key, and the police can't hear anything that's going to go on, because uh, what happens is that his number one, the scene starts up, okay,
And they
and
think it's Brett.
they think it's Brett, who's Brett's off tied up somewhere. We find out a little later on, right?
Mhm.
He goes off, and the scene starts up, and the owl comes out. They think it's Brett.
He
He's
starts
strangled.
strangling her because that's
Yeah.
part of the scene. He starts strangling her.
Yes. And then he brings out a knife, and he starts to stab her, and she gets it.
Chris W., we never find out where she hid the key. We never find out because he
Right.
strangles her and then
Stabs her, and she's dead. And
and everyone watched it
oh,
happen. They all stood around and watched it because it's a play. They're rehearsing.
yeah, they had at first they were like, wait a second, okay, this is, yeah, everything's going as planned. And then when the knife came out, somebody said, like, what's the knife for? Why the knife? And yeah, they all went booking towards that door, and that's when they found, oh, it's locked, you know what I mean? So Ian Sharp, excessive. uh what's that mean, excessive? um what
And
was
then
going on in
they
the
try to
scene?
use the phone because this was 1987. There were no cell phones. So
No,
he goes to use the
really? No cell phones in the
he goes
80s.
to use the public phone and the wire is cut on the public phone. So
Wow. Yeah,
they're
he
isolated. They're locked in. They
well,
can't even use the phone, and
he's
nobody knows
making
where the key is.
yes, he's making a point. And uh what's her name? Who's the girl who was the Oompa Loompa? She was like dressed in this purple, like weird big dress thing, and
She's the one that
yeah,
they
seen
did
on.
the scene.
Yeah. But I don't understand. I mean, what that was all about. Why she
Why that needed to
looked,
be included?
or why she even looked like that. What kind of costume is that?
I
Let's
I
dress
think
her up like
I
an
think
Oompa
that
Loompa.
I think that these movies were very sexist. They were very anti-woman. Come on, they were.
Well, yeah,
And I think that she was supposed to be a prostitute, and they wanted to make her look as like ridiculous and like gaudy as possible. And that's why they made her look like that because it's like the
yeah.
personification of a sin. Like she's a prostitute, so we're gonna make her look crazy and
Well,
weird
right.
and
Exactly. And yeah, Ian Sharp was making a point. Excessive, yes. And that's what a lot of the Italian directors did when it came to these horror slashers. There was a lot of excess when it came to the murders and all that stuff. So, um, but yes, that main scene there. I mean, heck, the whole play is a musical play about a mass murderer going after women. So yeah, I guess it makes sense. It's just the outfit just looked so weird.
but
But
I
anyways,
don't think
moving
that
on.
the owl, it's almost like this isn't real. Like the play, it's almost like this isn't real. It's like it's a dream. It's not
Mhm.
really an owl, or like, you know what I mean? Like it's not supposed to really be an owl. It's almost like this is just like a fantasy or something.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, and I do agree with you a bit there. The Kegi, first time seeing you here in the chat. Welcome. So Stage Fright is a masterpiece. He also goes on to say that Michele Soavi is the best horror director of the late '80s and early '90s. I disagree with you.
It was very good.
He is very good, and again, if he would have went on to, he doesn't got much to go by. The Keggy, uh, his child got sick, and he took a long time before he even came back. And when he came back, he was doing TV stuff. He just couldn't get back into where he was. Like most directors of the time, they hit this era of whatever, however many years. It's very rare for somebody to go their entire career and put out masterpiece after masterpiece after
Yeah,
masterpiece.
absolutely.
It's been
Absolutely. Yeah.
done, but a lot of these Italian directors had, like Dario Argento, 80s decade. I think way better than any of the other Italian horror directors coming out of the even from Mario Bava. Let me rank them for you. I'll do it right now. Dario Argento, number 1. Okay. Um, Number 2, we're going to get. We'll get Mario
Meaning
Bava.
Dario Argento is the best. Number 1 is the best.
Well, then I'm going to go Fulci. I'm going to go Fulci.
So number 1 being the best, number 5 being the 5th best.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to go Argento, Fulci. I'm going to go Mario Bava. After a certain point, past the 60s there. And then I'm going to go Umberto Lanzi. And then I will go Lamberto Bava. I don't have...
That's 6.
So there you go. I mean, that's roughly... I'm still in the process of going through the entire catalog of all of these directors, but as of right now, that's what I'm doing. Dario Argento.
Wow, the Keggy is very opinionated.
Well, and I'll tell you right now, Keggy, and listen, if you're if you're loving what you see and you love the channel and you're enjoying the discussion, all that, that's awesome. But back and forth here, I'm going to tell you right now, no way. Again, that's your opinion, but Dario Argento is by far not overrated. Not at all. You look...
I think he's underrated. I think not enough people realize how great he was.
Well, in that decade, he put out some of the best films, especially giallo films of all time. When you talk about Suspiria, Deep Red, Bird with the Crystal Plumage, Opera, I mean, come on.
He's the OG. All others are compared to him.
Listen, well, it started from Mario Bava and then worked its way on, but Dario Argento perfected the genre of giallo. When I think of giallo, I think Dario Argento. I do not think of anybody else. Okay, that's just me. So underrated, again, totally wrong, 100%. I will disagree with you immensely. Romero is basically Italian. Okay, George Romero is better than all those guys. The Keggy. I'm going to also disagree with you there. George
Romero. Now Dino, we're just gonna. This is all about the Keggy. This is all about Keggy.
Well, yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. I think that Dracula is one of the worst movies I ever seen. Okay, you know what? I think we're this close to just blocking you because I think you came in here just for that reason. The Keggy. If you want to just listen to our discussion now, please do interject if you want. But yeah, I guess enough going on. I think you're ridiculous in some of your thoughts. But I would like to say George Romero made some fantastic films. Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. You know what? And then we start to drift away. Okay.
Real quick, why don't you take care of this real quick? Can you just take care of this real quick?
Yeah.
Can someone just take care of that real quick?
Yeah. No. I will. It's all good. It's a shame you can't have. But see, most people won't understand what's going on there. But okay, Edward was in alter whether. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes. So let's continue, Ginger. Let's continue. So where are we at in the film? Everybody starts to basically uh, run away. I mean, they're all going in different directions. They're trying to figure out what's going on. How do they
Well,
save themselves?
can we talk
Go
about
ahead.
the largest drill bit I've ever seen in my life that wasn't on like an oil rig or something? The drill bit that guy got killed with, I've never seen a drill bit that big before.
Well, again, Irving Wallace goes to the whatever the prop room where there's things to make things, props and stuff like that. So there's a drill in there, there's instruments, there's all
A
kinds of things.
chainsaw.
Yes, a chainsaw's in there. So you have all of that stuff in there, and he sees it, and they show that drill, and then they back away. So you're going to get that drill is going to come in for the
It's gonna
kill,
come in all right.
and it ends up killing what's his name, the his side director's assistant. Is that who gets it? Who gets it? It doesn't even matter. One of the guys gets it through the
Yes.
door, and I love how he does it where he puts the arm through a hole in the door and starts to choke him.
Like you
And
didn't
then
know that was gonna happen. Like you see
what you
this
did,
thing in the door and he's leaning against the door. And it's like, dude, don't lean against that door. Something's gonna come through that whatever that thing was in the door. And sure enough, a fist comes punching through there. That was funny.
it was funny. It was, again, every scene where something there's a murder takes place. They do it in a very unique way, and when he comes through and chokes him, and they think, oh, we can help him, we can get the arm off, and nope, here comes a drill straight through him, and you see the blood, and
Oh,
one of the actresses drops something over, and blood, or not, something red goes all over the floor, adding to the scene. And it was really weird. It was really weird. I don't know, but just a very interesting part of the movie. And so that's another kill. While the blonde haired girl, why does she keep going in the bathroom and throwing up? Is
because
she
she's
pregnant?
pregnant.
Okay, so that's it. She's pregnant. Okay. So
And the father is another guy who works on the crew. And
right.
this is not their first
Well, cover
accident.
your ears too, because this is a little disgusting. But when she's throwing up in that bathroom and stuff, her boyfriend goes right up to him and says,
And
"Everything's
kisses her. I know. He kissed
gonna
her
be
right
all
after
right,"
she
and
got done
kisses her.
throwing up. She
Yeah,
didn't even
kisses
rinse
her.
her mouth out or anything. I was like, come on now.
Yeah, I'm like, man, get some scope. What are you doing? What is going on? But
Yeah,
yeah, no,
I peeped that.
yeah, it was kind of weird. But they're all trying to stick together, is what they're trying to do,
Yes, which is
and
a smart thing to do. And not all
because
horror
this is a
movies they do that. This one, they're smart. They all stuck together.
yes, because this is a masterpiece, and Dario Argento is the master of all masterpieces. Anyways, so they're all and that guy who's trying to give out money to everybody, and I don't, what do you call him? He's the financer, whoever
He's
he
the
is.
producer. He's the producer.
Okay,
He's the
so
money guy.
we'll call him the producer. I
Yeah,
think he's
he's
the
the
guy
money
work.
guy.
I think he's the guy working for the producer because he doesn't have final say. But nevertheless, let's call him that. And he ends up getting it by the owl next, and that's not as much of a you know fantastic scene because he just gets. They just show the owl come at him, Irving Wallace, right? And then
I don't remember that one.
then the next thing you do is you see him hanging. So nothing big
Oh, yeah,
there.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But while they're in that room, they're trying to get everybody to hey, there's keys somewhere. And what they're going to end up doing, Peter and his assistant, is run to the office and
Hmm.
get the keys so that they can get out. Um, they can't find the keys, and before you know it, they're running back because there's another killing going on.
Is this the chainsaw?
No, that comes in a little bit later
Oh,
because
okay.
remember, that's when they start. Okay, so Peter, the director, and his assistant are running all around, and uh, they end up going out back out where the theater is.
Mhm.
Okay, and at this point, he's got the chainsaw,
Mhm.
and he comes after Peter, who is by the door, and Peter acting all tough and everything else.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, he
he's
came through.
trying.
I mean,
He's
I'm
trying. He's trying. Yeah. He's pissed off, and again, his good side's coming out a bit. I do agree with you. But he basically runs over to that door, and he's got the axe with him, which really doesn't do a whole. You know what? I don't think this is the scene yet. I think okay. So
Are you
what
talking about the
have
fire extinguisher scene? Is this the fire extinguisher?
no. Okay, so before Peter gets it, they all run up to the top. What are those called above the theater
Like
where
a
everything happens?
catwalk?
The catwalks. So the catwalks are all up above, and the killer is chasing them up there. And when they get up there, I'm sorry, you go ahead. You start
No,
talking from here.
I'm enjoying your
There,
narrative, please.
there's a
Because
cool.
we've been all over the place. I don't even really know where we are now. So you go
Well,
ahead.
well, they're all run out. They couldn't find the keys. They all ran out of that room, and they for some reason they took off up in the catwalks, and this is where they kind of start splitting up. Although they all do wind up in this room, which is it's just some room, but they hear the killer, and this is where Peter sees what's his name tied up with the owl head on
Brett.
Brett. And Brett is known in a lot of these Italian horror movies
Oh, yeah,
for
you did say that. I don't know him.
for being his thing was just for being killed in unique ways in a lot of these movies. So he's known for that. I mean, anyways, in this one, he's tied up. They think they're getting a killer, and here Peter chopped Brett and killed him himself. So that wasn't a kill by Irving Wallace. That was a kill
Oh,
by.
yeah, you're right.
So
That's
there you
right.
go. And during the same time, what's her name with the short blonde hair? The names are hard to come by in some of these movies.
There's so many people. There's so many
Yeah.
names in these movies.
She falls down through the floor. She doesn't fall down. She gets pulled down because she's over this like hole in kind of like breaking like rotted wood, and
Mhm.
he pulls her down, and when they look down in the hole, they see that he's got a chainsaw. Well, no, not at this point, I'm sorry. She
Did you
falls
even
through,
watch the movie? Come on.
listen, she falls through the hole, and her lover grabs her arms. That's what happens. And they all start to pull her up, and remember, they pulled her up a la George Romero, and she splits in half like a zombie, and
Mm.
half of her body is up on top and the other half is down. Remember?
I mean, like,
You don't
I
remember
guess
that?
that's why people love this movie so much is
Oh,
because of the unique ways that the people get killed and stuff. But I just can't love a movie for
no.
all the different creative ways people get killed.
Oh
This movie
no, it's
does
not.
have a plot. It has a plot.
It's not all about that. Listen, it's all about the scenery, the the way everything's set up. Even the blue lights kind of create this like cold, dark feeling
I
throughout
love
the
the blue light.
movie.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
to me, that's like a Giallo movie.
Oh yeah, of course.
Blue lights like that.
Dino bought the cliff notes to the movie.
He
Listen
didn't
here,
buy
Chris
them. He
W.
downloaded them from the interwebs.
Listen here, Chris W. I watched this movie, but
No,
listen,
Dino watched it last night. I remember he was watching it last night. I watched
yeah,
it today, so I'm fresh, sort
yeah,
of.
yeah. So after she gets pulled in half and pulls up, what happens? Who jumps down there, Ginger?
I don't remember. The next thing
Oh,
I have is
okay, no, we can't pass over that. Her lover jumps in after it because he's pissed. You killed my impregnated girlfriend, okay? So I'm jumping down there after you, and they all look at him like, "You don't do that. What are you, nuts?" he jumps down there, and it's dark, and then they flash a light down there, and the guy's taking a chainsaw to him in half. So he just totally blew his life right there. It's done. Not that he wasn't going to get it anyways. I mean, because it's
Because they're all gonna get it.
yeah. But
That's how this movie goes. They're all gonna die except the final girl.
yes. And then we get back down to the theater where what happens? Because everybody runs back down. Well, at least a couple people run back down.
Did they
Ginger.
have we got to the part where Alicia finds the gun and the keys?
No, because Alicia was following what's her name up to the catwalk, and she fell back, so she's knocked out. She's not even in the scene at this point. But Peter, the director, and his assistant run down towards that front door again, and that's where we get the scene with Peter in the chainsaw, right?
Head comes clean off.
That's it. It just comes. It comes clean off, huh? That's what happens. You heard it here first, folks. Came clean off. What came clean off?
His head.
Okay, there you go. A little bit more info. That's important. Yeah. But what does he chop off first, Ginger? Question number 1.
His arm?
He cuts off his arm first. Yes, he's Owlhead Man, killer Irving Wallace is coming after him with a chainsaw, and Peter's got that big hatchet in the and he's trying to be a tough guy, but he starts to cower a little bit towards the wall, and that's where he lost it. And right there the chainsaw cuts his arm off, and he slides down, and it's like, now I'm gonna get something going. Clean off, says Justin. Yeah, clean off. And the arms down on the ground. So yeah, and then the head, whoop, clean off. Yes, Giallo, Giallo, Giallo. More of a slasher, but it's still considered
It's a slasher. It's a slasher.
But I agree with you, but it's still considered in the Giallo genre. So
no, it's considered a slasher.
Yeah.
What's it
What
called?
you gonna
Stalk and
do?
kill. This
What you
is
gonna
the
do when
slasher
they come
of
for
the
you?
stalk and
Bad
kill
boys.
variety.
Bad boys. Jeffrey Giordano. What's going on, Jeffrey? Not Scary Farm is a big fan. Huh. What does that mean? I'm trying to dissect that in my mind. I love when Dino sings jingles. Oh boy. Well, it goes with the channel. Old time radio shows you guys do. I hear Giallo, I hear Jello, I hear Giallo. Anyway, so Peter gets it. They're all scared. I don't know who's killed by this point. They're all running around.
So then this is when she finds the gun and the keys.
Sure.
And she's trying to figure out which key is going to open the door.
Why not? Yeah.
And none of the keys are working.
No.
And she goes over by the stage where he is, and she sees the key. He has the cat.
Oh,
Lucifer.
wait a second. No. Oh. There's a whole mess of stuff going on. Okay. She's Alicia's, first of all, she's roaming around, even after she's got the keys there, in this sequence through the hallways, which is kind of interesting, to say the least. Okay. And she works her way down the hall into this bathroom and shower room, and in there in the shower she sees blood on the shower, and something's
there's
moving.
a girl in there.
There's a girl in there, and it's I don't even know her name. The other star who she kind of got that chainsaw right across her chest too, at some part before this. Jesus criminy. Sorry to use that name, but darn it. So she's dying in the shower. Well, I mean, she's dead anyways, but she's moving around still. She's alive. And Irving Wallace comes walking in like this. He comes walking in like this, Ginger. Okay. And
Yeah, I remember. It was just like that.
remember, and
Mhm.
remember, you even said, why did he have that kind of that sway, back and forth? I said, I
Swagger.
don't
It's
know.
called
It's it's
swagger.
it's it's something they do in giallo films. And the owl guy, Irving Wallace, picks her up while Alicia is hiding behind the other shower in the other stall. And she sees him through like a little slit there and watches him kill her. And then he walks off. So he didn't know she was there. So Alicia, the final girl, is kind of doing the right things. Damn it.
Staying quiet, not letting him
Damn.
know that she's alive or that she's there. Always aware of where he is.
Tomo, suffering Jesus. I love how.
Not
See, I'm a
suffering,
madhouse.
suffering.
It's a
Suffering.
mad. Oh, that's funny. Uh, anyways, so continue, Ginger. What was going on?
I don't know, because everything I say, no, not that far.
Well, she's in the shower scene. Where does she go from there? Pop quiz number 2.
I don't remember. Does she go up on the catwalk, or is that when she goes underneath the stage?
Well, that's when she goes and looks for the gun, and she gets a gun, and then she ends up going into the
Are you
main
writing? Are
area.
you writing down my grade there? Is that my grade?
Yeah, it's a D.
Oh no.
So she's by the front door is what she is. She's using all those keys to get in, and all of a sudden, who does she see come out on the stage? The best part of the movie starts right here.
Okay, now it starts
Yes.
officially. So
The
I can talk
scene.
about it now.
The scene, yes. Go for it.
Has she been under the stage? The cat is
Not
in
yet.
his lap.
Not yet, because the big part of the movie, the best part of the movie starts right now.
She
We
comes in
talked
and she
about this at the
sees him. She's
beginning.
around the corner looking onto the
We
stage.
talked about this at the beginning of class. If you don't take your notes, you're not going to get a good grade. I want all you to write. Okay, go ahead, Ginger. So, who's she see come out on the stage?
Mr. Birdman,
Yes.
the night owl.
And so she scoots over to where she's just poking her head out around
And
the
she
corner.
looks on the stage, and there's quite a scene that he has set for himself on the stage.
Black Roses has to go to bed. Love you, Ginger, Dino,
All right,
everyone.
Black Roses.
Night, night. Sleep tight. Don't let the owls come and hoot at night. Woohoo! So Ginger looks over. Ginger, I'm losing it. So Alicia looks over at the stage, and Irving Wallace is doing this weird ritual where he's setting up all the dead bodies and chairs.
Hey, Trotter Horse.
Hey, Trotter Horse, you just galloped in at the right time. Good to see you. Yeah.
There's a head. There's a head on the table. There's a head.
Yes, and that mannequin that was up on that stage that whole time, he takes the axe and just knocks it off, and he takes Peter's head that's on the table and sticks it right on that mannequin. And then he backs
funny.
up.
I'm sorry, that was really funny.
I know. Then he backs up, and he sits in that chair, and the cat
like the king on his throne.
Yes, and that's when the cat accidentally turns the fan on, which is just a cool idea and adds to the strange atmospheric, disturbing image of all these people propped up but dead.
And it's gonna get weirder.
Yes, and he's either taking a nap, but he's tapping his foot right in front of the key that's in between the wood planks on the floor, right in front of him.
The key that will let Alicia out of the theater. That's the key that she needs.
Yeah, yeah.
That everyone's been looking for this whole movie. That Corinne hid and then she got killed and no one knew where it was. And now we're like, there it is.
Very well done. And it's a silver key made out of silver and gold.
It's silver and it
So it's
looks
a
like it was
silver and
freshly cut. They just cut that key.
so it's a silver and gold key. Silver and gold. Anybody in the mood for Christmas?
No.
Silver and gold. Come on. That's a classic. Jeez.
Did you see that? Did you see there was a goof in that scene though?
Oh,
They
tell me
show
about
the
it.
head.
Yeah.
They show the head sitting on the table, the guy's head, and he
Okay.
goes over, the killer goes over and picks up his head, and you can very clearly see the head.
Yeah.
It looks like the guy's face.
Yeah.
And the killer picks up his head, and when he picks it up, there's feathers all over the guy's face. There weren't feathers on it when it was sitting on the table, but he picks it up, and suddenly it's covered with feathers. Did you notice that?
I
You
noticed
did
that.
not.
No, I noticed that, but I thought it was because the fan was started blowing all the feathers around. Because
Oh, you're right. That could
because
be
the
it.
kill because the killer actually starts grabbing feathers for some weird reason and starts rubbing it in everybody's face after
Because
that.
the feathers turn him on, man.
Yeah, he's got some kind of feather fetish, I guess. It tickles him fancy. Woohoo! Whoa. So yeah, she makes her way underneath the stage. This is the big part of the movie that Ginger's been trying to get at since 2 minutes into the stream. So go for it. So what happens down there?
Is this when he chases her? He chases her with an axe.
He does.
And she goes she goes all the way up onto the
Oh, so we're
catwalk.
not underneath the floor no more, huh?
Well, no, they're not.
So she's underneath the stage. She's comes right up to where he's sitting. I thought Ginger was going to say
And
this.
she pokes something through to try to get the key out.
She finds a 4-inch long nail on the ground, and she puts it up towards that key to try to get it out because she couldn't pull it or even wiggle it out.
And
So
that damn disloyal Lucifer cat
is
called all
looking
kind
at
of
it.
attention to her.
Yeah, but he still wasn't paying attention at first, and then it popped out and fell on the floor, and the cat made a meow sound at the same time it clinked. Yeah, that sounds like a key dropping.
I didn't hear it at all.
You didn't hear that?
No, but you make me turn the volume down so low because you claim in your head there's a reverb or there's a whatever.
I claim ukuleles.
Although you're the only one who hears it.
Oh. So evidently he heard the key and he goes to grab her. Okay. As she's coming out from underneath the stage. And what does she do to him? Because it's important.
Is this when she sprays the fire extinguisher in his face?
No, thank you, ma'am. She takes that 4-inch long nail, and we're gonna have a talk after this. She took that nail and she stuck it right in his eye, and you think that would do something to him, but again,
he's like Michael Myers.
Yeah,
he can't be killed.
But Michael Myers is supernatural, and this is just an ordinary guy. He could be just bleeding.
Is he though? Because we're not going to talk about the end of this movie yet, but keep the end of this movie in mind. And is he not a Michael Myers?
Okay, well maybe. It's okay. So, she runs away after she stabs him in the eye up to the catwalks again, right? On the catwalk. And the catwalk, babe. What's that song go like?
I don't know what you're talking about.
And we're gonna do a little groove on the catwalk. Nobody know what I'm talking about?
Does anybody know what this man's talking about? Does anybody know what
It's
he's
a song
talking
from
about?
the 80s, the catwalk. On the cat. Anyways, okay, so she's up on the catwalk, and she corners herself into this little area, and he comes after her. And this is where everything you think is going to go down, almost like the boogeyman. What happens, Ginger? Come on, man. What's going on? She knocks him off the
She
catwalk.
she knocked him off and he fell.
No.
She beats his hand with the fire extinguisher.
Does she?
Yes, and he
Oh,
lets
she's
go and he falls and he
mean.
crashes onto the floor, but then he immediately gets up and starts grabbing on this cable and she just sits there and watches him climb
Paul
halfway
B.
up.
Paul B, that's it. I'm too sexy for my catwalk. Yeah. Remember that song?
Yes.
I'm too okay, go on. Yeah. Thank you, Paul B. That would have drove me
Hey,
nuts.
Paul B, I didn't see you come in. And hey,
Yeah,
Adam for
there you go.
Christ, if I didn't say hi to you, hey, Adam for Christ.
By right said Fred. Yes, I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my
Can't you just see
anyway.
Dino standing in the mirror singing that to himself?
Oh, I do every night after the shower. But anyways, everybody's chiming in. There you go. See, yeah. You guys got it. Come on. I'm surprised Ginger didn't have it. She's got to go back to the '60s to remember songs. Hey, Adam, for
Ooh,
Christ,
wow.
good.
Whoa.
So he falls from the catwalk right on the ground like Michael Myers, and I think this is where Loomis comes in, and
Hey, Lee Donovan.
Hey, Lee Donovan, what's going on? He's right side Fred, the group. See, he knows it too.
Loomis? You said Loomis?
Yeah, because not Loomis, because Michael Myers fell off the catwalk and we think he's the boogeyman. But anyways, Irving Wallace, the owl head, falls down. Rich Cat Ranch, when you hit 100K subscribers, you can also reenact that music video after you release the Sea Shanty album for us.
Oh no, Dino's gonna do sea shanties?
Okay, so what happens? What happens? Come on. Well, first, when he caught like this cord, it doesn't matter. He caught a cord, tried to climb back up, and he fell back down again. He's dead. You think he's dead. Alicia goes and walks back down there to him, and what happens? Yeah.
He climbs all the way up and she starts cutting the cable with an axe. She's got the axe there, so she's cutting the cable, and that's why he falls the second time. But you know he's not really dead. Come on, he's like Michael Myers. You know he's not really dead.
Well, he falls down there, and how does she?
They have the play that they were doing. There's like a street scene, and in all these old city street scenes, you see the barrel
Fire.
that's like on fire with trash on it that people would stand around and just spontaneously break into song and sing doo-wop songs that everybody just happens to know. But anyway, she tips that over on him and he catches on fire.
That's the way it happened in Philly. There were back in the 70s, there were drums in the alleys and they would all hang around and doo-wop it.
Okay, yeah.
You saw Rocky. Come on. So he catches on fire and she runs out the door and gets the police. Next thing you know, they come in and they're hauling away a bunch of dead bodies. But there's
there's the press right there, all up in her face, like scavengers.
Yeah, what's going on? How many you gonna do?
We'll give you $1,000 for an exclusive, and she's just like, "What just happened to me?" Like, so
and she's
she
at
goes to the hospital.
Yeah, she does, and she looks a little bit like what's her name? Breakfast at Tiffany's. Come on, Ginger. Audrey Hepburn. She looks a little bit like her sitting in that hospital.
You know what? You're right. She does.
Yes.
Like a low-grade version of Audrey Hepburn, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Audrey Hepburn. Okay, don't even get me started. Breakfast at Tiffany's is one of my favorite films of all time.
Oh, of course it is.
I love that film. Audrey Hepburn.
I bet you do, because you're just such a little romantic.
Are you making fun? Listen, there's many sides of Dino. There are many different sides.
He is a multifaceted guy.
Yeah, I run a late night horror show, and you get one side of Dino. But yes, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
And then you get the side that you saw last night. Wasn't that something to behold?
Are you making fun? You didn't like that? Was
it Dino? We saw dark Dino last night.
Did everybody enjoy that a little bit? I don't know. Spooky ghost stories told by my alter ego.
Tell the man, it was awesome.
Okay, yeah, you're just saying that, but that's all right. You may not have even looked at it.
she
So
goes to
what
the
does she
hospital,
what
and
does she hear?
two things about this hospital. Number one, Nurse
Okay.
Ratchet, that really mean nurse that looks like a psychopath.
Nurse Ratchet. Yeah, yeah.
And number two, I was never previously aware that you could feed a fish, live fish.
Yeah.
She's feeding this fish other fish for it to just eat. I didn't know that. I thought you gave fish flakes. I didn't know that you could put live little fishes in your fish tank and another fish would come along and eat them. And that's what she
Okay.
did. She plopped three actual live fish into that tank.
Yeah, she was a
And
little
she
disturbed.
enjoyed it too. She was getting off on it, like, yeah, eat them,
Yeah, she was a
like a
little
psychopath.
she was a little disturbed, and everybody seemed to like my spooky stories last night. So thank you. With your voice changer, were a good. Who says that was a voice changer? It's in kind of this thing I summoned from deep down inside. Uh, excuse me, pardon me.
Dark Dino.
Whew. But yeah, no. But what was said? There was something said at the hospital, I think, where they said there were 8 bodies, and that
Yes, and she said 8 because there
yeah,
should be 9.
yes,
And they
yes.
said 8.
So so
And then
there's this
she realizes that she left her watch.
yes.
So she has
Hopefully
to
you guys
go
can
back
hear
to the theater.
you guys hear the police coming? Big fish love to eat little fish. Yes, they do. But this woman was sadistic with it.
Oh, yeah, she
She was like
was.
getting off on it, and it was very disturbing. Wet fish and
John David, I miss Arthur Treacher's too. I used to love Arthur Treacher's.
oh, that seafood restaurant. Yeah, no, hush puppies, man. Whoo.
I liked
Yeah.
Long John Silver's too. Just the crunchies. You could go in and just get a bag of just the little crunchy parts. Yum.
Okay, so she's got this
So,
gold watch that broke too, so she goes back
yeah.
for that, and she meets that I don't know who he is, what his name is. He's the janitor.
Willie.
Willie?
Willie.
Okay, so he's Willie, and
He's
they all like
Jamaican. You can hear it. He's Caribbean.
he's Jamaican man.
Yeah, man.
So
So he lets her in,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then she looks away for a second.
I like how he tells her, "Listen, you could have used that gun. You just had the safety off because when she used it to try to kill him, she couldn't kill him because the safety was on." He said, "Oh, that's all you got to do." So all of a sudden, she looks back and he's missing.
She finds her watch. She
Yeah.
leans over. She finds her watch. And when she looks up after she finds her watch, she looks up, and that's when Willie's gone.
Yes. And the next thing, she looks around the corner, and who was there but the guy who got stuck with a thing through the eye and got burned and you thought was dead, but is really Michael Myers and raises himself from the depths of hell and death itself. And
And when the
gets shot right between the eyes.
when the press reported on what happened in the theater with all the people that got killed, they called it the Soundstage Massacre. And that's how they said it on the news.
No way.
So these were the kills. These were the kills. Laurel.
That's so cray-cray.
Laurel, Brett, Mark, Sylvie, Danny, Peter, Corinne, and Ferrari. That's 8. There should be 9, and she goes over.
Oh.
And there's
You're back
Mr.
up to
Owl.
a B. You're back up to a B. Good job on those kill counts. Ginger, yay.
Will that bring my overall grade back up?
It's up to a B minus, so yes.
Okay.
Ginger did good with kill counts and names.
I
didn't
did
even know who
it!
they were. Yay. Fit,
So-
eat fish. Who knew?
The
Yeah.
killer's coming for her. The killer's coming for Alicia,
They're
Mr.
carnivorous.
Owlman. He's coming for Alicia, and he's so close to her, and you think, this is it. She's going to bite it. He's
The
going to
movie's
kill
still
her
going on?
too.
Holy sheeps. Go on. Is there a third part to this movie? Keep going. He's coming after her?
Yes.
Oh,
And then
I'm
suddenly,
scared.
boom.
Holy
gunshot.
Moses. Oh, is that what happened?
Yes.
Right between the eyes? Oh. I knew it. I knew that's what was going to happen, Ginger.
Thank you. CM said it should be an A minus.
Listen, me and
That's
Ginger's
okay.
just
Dino,
joking.
Dino is tough but fair. Tough but fair.
Listen. I
You know
love
where that
doing these.
came from? That came from Jackass.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
They
something
did
you'd
one in
watch.
Russia. And one
You
of the guys
probably
said the Russian
is,
military, tough but fair.
is that on your top 10 list of films?
Anyway,
Uh,
so at the end
Chad.
of the movie, what happens, Dino? At the very end of the movie, when you think it's all over, the guy's been shot between the eyes. He had a nail in the eye. The guy is
Yeah.
dead, right?
Right.
Is he?
They don't. I'm trying to think of the very ending. Then, well, they don't show it. They
He
don't
looks at
show
the
it.
camera. They
Oh,
think
oh,
you think
oh,
it's
oh,
over.
oh,
He
oh, oh.
looks at the camera and smiles.
Okay, so I give you that. Yes, there's this weird thing at
Hey,
the
give
very.
me that. You're not giving me anything. That's what happened.
Well, I mean, does that mean he's still living? I mean, he did get a
Why is
bullet
he
through the
still living? He just
brain.
got a bullet between the eyes. Why is he still living?
Well, it could have just been some movement in the eyes. After death, things happen. But we could go the route of he's supernatural like Michael Myers. It could be a thing. Uh, what ended up happening though was, Rico Suave didn't direct another, Stagefright Part 2, but it would have been an interesting concept,
Yeah.
that Irving Wallace, like Alicia goes back there.
He had no real motive. I mean, we knew he was the killer, but he had no real motive. It was a crime of opportunity because she comes by at the beginning of the movie. She walks by when they're in the mental hospital to treat her ankle,
Yeah.
and she sees Irving Wallace in his cell, and he
Yeah.
looks at her, and she's like, "Oh my God!" Like, and then her friend tells her that's Irving Wallace, the serial killer.
Yeah.
And then as she's standing there, an orderly comes up who's getting ready to go into Irving Wallace's cell. And he says, "You can't stand here. Like, you got to move along." And she's like, "Oh, okay." So she goes and does whatever. And when she comes back, she walks back by there again and she looks in there.
Yeah.
And it's not Irving Wallace, it's the orderly
Yeah, the orderly wasn't
with
very
a
orderly.
needle sticking out of his neck.
Yeah, he wasn't very orderly. He was
He was
disorderly.
disorderly.
He was the disorderly orderly is what he was. So, oh my God, you just blurred out. Oh my God, I thought my glasses fogged up.
It
Woo!
happens. It happens all the time. It's very weird.
Yeah, it's
I think it's
lovely.
this subpar camera I have.
It could be. Listen, that's 1920 by 1080. Should be. But anyways.
That you probably got for free.
That's my old camera. I used that for years.
Uh-huh.
Couple years. Anyways, I love swordfish.
So anyway, as I said, we have to have one last little. If anyone has seen this movie, please speak up. Dino says that this movie could be classified as a giallo, and I disagree. It's a slasher movie. It can't be a giallo because there's no. We know who the killer is right off the bat. We know who the killer is. There's no red herrings because we know who the killer is. There's no police investigation going on. It's not a giallo.
Listen, I'll tell you this. I'm not going to argue the point because I kind of agree with you. Okay, it is categorized in the giallo genre. I would say 90% slasher, 10% giallo. It is.
Okay, you win.
Listen, no, it's considered a giallo.
I didn't see not one thing that said it was a giallo. Okay, I saw one thing that said it was a giallo. Everything else just said it was a slasher, a stalk and kill slasher.
Well, no, most people are like you, and they would say, "Listen, I don't see this."
He's always trying to tell me that I'm inferior. Do you hear? He's always trying to tell me that I'm in the majority of people who don't appreciate good cinema, and he's above all of us.
Listen here, not even close. No. I said I'm with you. This is a slasher. I mean, I wonder sometimes why it's classified in the giallo genre.
Emily agrees with me. Sorry, Dino, it's a slasher. And Connie agrees with me too. Huh.
Listen, I'm going to continue.
You do that.
I want you, Ginger, when you get a chance to look up what distinguishes a giallo and a slasher from each other.
Oh, oh,
Listen,
are you?
you
Oh, are you saying that I have not already looked up what makes a movie a giallo? Is that what you're
well
saying
then
right now?
you should know that it's more than uh just it being about the
It's not
killer.
more. I know
It's
that it's
more
more
than
than that, but this is some major components that it doesn't have. It has to have some of these components.
okay. Listen, let's
Okay,
just
sorry.
agree. Let's agree because again, I'm trying to create a little controversy here, but I'm 90% on your side. I do believe it is a slasher. I mean, it is a slasher, but you can look for yourself on lists of giallo films, and this is there. And there will be people who would discuss with you the reason it's considered giallo. And it has to do with the way the terrifying scenes lead up to the deaths, the way the Italian filmmakers filmed these sequences. And it's very complex. Listen, giallo films started off from little pulp magazines or little
Yeah,
pulp
they're yellow. They were
paperback.
yellow on the cover. Yes.
Exactly. So what came from there is what everybody, and that's why I say Dario Argento is his movies in the 80s are it's an encyclopedia of giallo films. That's what they are. Uh, that's the definitive answer on giallo films. Um, this it's a slasher film, but again, let's heat things up a bit. Uh,
Okay.
Paul Bugino's about ready to cut Ginger's feed. I almost did, but I didn't. I held back.
He's growing. You see, he's growing. You're welcome.
Oh my God. No, no, listen, I don't want to. Everybody's saying, hey, listen, Ginger's right on this. Listen, I agree with her. It's a slasher film.
All right, everybody, let it go. Let it go. You have to let it go
Okay,
now.
anyways, yes. It's a giallo film. So anyways, that's this film. It seems like she didn't like it as much as me. I take it for what it is. I think it's a fantastic um, slasher film. And I think it's better than most slasher films that have been made in America. So there you go. I said it. Um, what would I give it out of 10? Let's see. I would give this, and you're going to be surprised on this then, because
I bet I won't be.
as much as I'm trying to hype this up, I'm probably going to give this about I'll give this a 6.8 out of 10.
I said 6.5. I said
Really?
6.5.
Okay, so there you go. We're almost right on. Again, I think through this I kind of overhyped it, and you were kind of trying to say, "Listen, this is even killed horror film slash." Right? Am I wrong? What are you looking at?
Say that again. I what?
Me?
You.
I said,
Say that again. What did you say?
"Listen, this is going to get tough. We're going to okay."
No, I missed the first part of what you said, sir. I'm just asking you to repeat it.
I said I was trying to hype. We seem to you 6.3, me 6.8. It's almost exactly the same. I was trying to hype this up for what it was. You saw it as a middle of the road kind of horror film, slasher film, whatever. So even though we give it similar scores, we both thought a little bit differently on the subject there on scoring this movie.
6.5. I mean, your level of passion for this movie is not reflected by your 6.8 rating.
Oh,
You
that's almost
seem
a 7. Listen.
almost a 7, and you're saying that this movie is so excellent and the best you can give it is almost a 7?
Do you know how hard it is to give something a 10? Do
I
you understand?
know. We've only
Okay,
had one that we agreed on was a 10, and that was
there exactly. So I don't give high scores out
No, you don't.
easily.
I
There,
always say, Dino, tough but fair. Tough but
listen.
fair.
I I will say it again that this is, in my opinion, one of the better and more unknown slashers, and doesn't get
It's
the respect
definitely unknown.
that it should, uh, for being a slasher film, giallo film. It is.
We
Paul
hear you.
B. $10
Oh,
super
thank
chat.
you,
Thank
Paul
you.
B. Thank you, Paul.
It is interesting to watch the discussion be so lively. Thanks, Dino and Ginger. Thank you, Paul. I really appreciate that. Listen, it's real. I love to have fun. The back and forth has to be this way. Otherwise, what's the point? I mean,
Yeah, if we're
we
gonna
can
agree on every movie,
we can sit down and be boring and just agree on everything and go, yeah, I love that part. That was fantastic. What did you think, Ginger? I thought it was fantastic too. You were right on point, Dino. Um, it's it, yeah. I mean, come on. So
this guy,
this guy,
this guy.
it was one of the greatest of all time. And
I would
oh
like to
no,
repeat.
not really.
I
I
would
take
like
that
to
back.
repeat the 4 names by which this movie is known.
Please say it.
4.
Aquarius,
Aquarius,
delirium,
Deliria,
deliria, diarrhea. I mean, deliria. Oh, and I don't know the other two.
for
Go
the
ahead.
adults in the room, the
Yeah.
other 2 are Stagefright and Bloody Bird. So
Oh.
Deliria, Aquarius, Stagefright, or Bloody Bird, this movie is known by.
Which one do you think is a better title? Do you think they went with the right one with Stage Fright?
Stagefright.
You think so? That's
Yes.
I like Deliria, but I think
Why Aquarius? What does that even mean? Why Aquarius?
I think it has to do with the sun and the moon and the stars, but and the killer and the zodiac and all that stuff. But who the heck knows? But anyways, I, listen, yeah, Aquarius, you can throw that out the door. Maybe because of the aquarium, the fish.
The
They
what?
the fish in the aquarium. They said, let's name
No.
this
No.
aquarium
No.
Aquarius.
No.
They said, let's name it aquarium, and the guy goes, has nothing to do with. Let's name it Aquarius then,
This
because
was
the guy
another
was.
one of those movies where it was a multinational cast. You could tell that they were all speaking different languages.
Oh yes, you know the movie that we were going to do, The Evil Eye.
Because Dino put the kibosh on it because he said it was going to stink, and then he picked this one.
The Evil Eye, 1963, by Mario Bava.
64.
63.
64.
63.
Okay, 63.
It was, I'll bring this up. We ditched it for this movie at last
We
minute.
didn't ditch it. You ditched it.
I ditched it last minute because 20 minutes in, I said I can't watch no more. I'm not saying
Unwatchable. Unwatchable.
no. I'm not saying it was a bad movie. I just wasn't feeling it, and I just could not continue. But there was a scene at the very beginning in the plane which I thought was very apropos and very interesting for Mario Bava. It did have an Alfred Hitch. I'm going to talk about the first 20 minutes of it, but
I didn't even get to see any of it. I only watched like one review, but it gave me a very Hitchcockian feel. It really did.
Well, the first 20 minutes did give that a little bit, but that's deceiving because there were some comical things thrown in at the very beginning that was just, I was like, what? But anyway, she was on the plane and she had the killer, and it was a yellow giallo paperback, and I thought it was so cool that she was reading it in a Mario Bava movie.
Yeah.
The Evil Eye, and that was cool about it. But everything else, kind of, I said, forget this. We're doing Stage Fright. So, anyways, tomorrow night, you guys, I have a paranormal show. Wait, do I? Oh, wait a second. Wait, do I not got something scheduled tomorrow for paranormal? Holy Moses. I'm going to have to look on that, you guys.
Well, you should have an open mic night then.
Well, will people show up and do something? Let's see. Yeah, I don't have anything scheduled tomorrow, so I might have an impromptu something. Uh, but I have a lot of paranormal guests lined up in the month of October. Smile. Moving on. So yes, it's 9:30. Um,
And this
thank
is where
you.
Dino pretends to let me have the last word, and I think that he's going to give me the last word, and then he cuts the screen. The
Listen,
stream.
I always tried to let you have the last word, but you say no. I'm not having any of that, and because you say that, I just cut you off. So, so, anyways, yeah, there's the Keggy. Suspiria remake was better than Argento version. Oh boy, you're just trying to get a rise out of me, is what you're doing. You see, the
And
Keggy.
at
I
least,
could,
you know what? At least he held out until the end.
yeah, I'll give you that. So, anyways, um, that's like on a laugh scale of 1 to 10, it's laughable at 10. Keggy. Um, so so comical. The Suspiria remake. Well, you know what? It may be the Keggy. Are you 18 years old? Possibly.
Connie,
Anyways,
Connie, baby.
UFOs no joke.
Hey,
Um,
UFO's no joke. A little late, young man. Where have you been?
yeah, what's going on? We got a discussion going on there. No, I'm joking. Well, no, I'm not joking. We
You're
just
welcome,
did.
Chris W.
Yes, thank you, Chris W.
And
But
everyone, always remember that even after we do these live shows,
yeah,
the comment section is open, and Dino and I, probably Dino, because he's the know-it-all, I mean the expert on these
what?
movies. If you have any questions, you can always ask in the comments or just leave
Listen,
a comment.
Ginger, you're speaking out your ears is what you're doing. I would love comments from people after the shows. I would love comments. There might be two or three, but um, it's hard to come by comments. I don't know what to say. People enjoy the stream. If they do that, that's enough. That's enough. But I would love, yes, I've been saying it for 7 years. I would love comments. If you, even if it's just to say, hey, I love the discussion, it was fantastic. Watch, we'll get three
Or even if
comments
it's
there.
just to say, tell that Ginger she's a loudmouth and
Yes,
she
keep it
has
real.
no soul.
Keep it real. Whatever. Hey, Clay Murdoch, what's going on? Have a good night, all you guys. Yeah, yeah, we're getting ready. We're getting off here.
We'll see you all in the stream.
Yes, and it's going to be again every once in a while. I got to play an all night long Basil Rathbone, Nigel Bruce, Sherlock Holmes
Sherlock
stream.
Holmes.
So yes, tonight it's all Sherlock Holmes all night long. Basil
So what are we going
Rathbone,
to hear? We're going to be here about Kreml. I think
Kreml.
isn't it usually Kreml when it's Sherlock Holmes? Isn't it usually Kreml?
um, um, it's
Or
the
is
other
it
one. What's the
the
other one?
cigarettes?
No, no, no,
Wild Root?
no, no. No. This Sherlock Holmes. It's Oh man, what is it? Come on, somebody in the chat, help me out. Help me
It's
out.
not Wild Root. It's not Kreml. Is it Petri
No,
wine?
no. Petri wine. Petri
It's
wine.
Petri wine. Okay.
Petri wine. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. See you guys tomorrow for Paranormal Night open mic. That's the thing, though. I would love to do that, and I may try. But if I do that, I need people to pop on. I need people to jump on and tell their stories. And
And more than just that loudmouth Ginger, because we get enough of her.
well, you can come on anytime. Listen. I love doing these streams with you. They're fun. I enjoy watching the movies, talking about them. So yes, it's always fun. I hope it comes off that way with everybody, and you guys enjoy it. So with that said, I'm going to end this stream.